live.
We're not live.
We're not live.
We're just...
Well, in the moment we are.
True.
Okay. When you guys listen to this, it will not be, and you'll be sad.
It will be pre-recorded.
You know, we could come up with like a live show once.
Yeah, we could.
We could do.
We could do it here. We could do it here.
At Norberto's,
That
where
would
we
be-
are right now with the beautiful and
my
wonderful
gosh.
Lisa.
Hello,
Yay.
ladies.
Lisa, we're so excited. We've been talking about talking to you since
The beginning.
the very beginning.
You were on the list. You were, yeah, don't get jealous, everybody, but she was on like the top 10 list. She was the
Yes.
initial list.
I am so honored and I'm so grateful that you guys have chosen me because I get to tell my story. I don't think anyone really knows who I am here, so it's
Yeah.
a good chance for me to tell my story.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we wanted to talk to you.
Exactly.
And when we were planning our show for you, we're like, what do we ask? Because we don't know you well enough to even know like what questions
You
to
might
draw.
even say, there's so much we don't know about Lisa.
This is true.
Until today.
Now, Lisa, you have been here in Palmas for how long?
Rod and I, my husband Rod Norberto, and the reason why he's called Rod is because when he was in the Army, no one could say Norberto, so they shortened his last name, Rodriguez, to Rod. So my husband Rod and I, we came here on our first vacation 32 years ago. Yeah, it was our first vacation together. We had been dating maybe a month and a half, and he said, let's go to Puerto Rico. And I'd been to Puerto Rico. I was kind of semi-raised here. I'd come here in the summers. I went to school, 4th grade. I was here for school. So Puerto Rico has always been my second home. But I'd never been to Palmas. I had never been to this part of the island. So he brought me here, and we spent a week, and we just fell in love.
And
with
and
the
how or why Palmas at
Yeah.
that?
I don't know. He looked at a friend may have told him. It was just something that he had in the back of his head that he wanted to visit.
This was how many years ago?
That's like 32 years ago.
So
Yeah.
how was Palmas back then?
It was
Totally.
just a little bit more rural,
Yeah.
quieter, beautiful, just beautiful. And we had a wonderful time. We did it all. We went on the catamaran. We went horseback riding. We ate at, a couple of restaurants that were here. I mean, I have vague memories of it. It was a long time ago, but Palmas just stayed in our heart. And within probably 2 years, we ended up buying a vacation property here.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, a little apartment, a little vacation property.
Were you in New York at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And so how long had you been in New York for?
I was born and raised in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Okay.
And my husband was born here in Puerto Rico, in Rio Piedras, and he was raised in the Bronx. He's a Bronx boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when we met and got together, I ended up moving to the Bronx, to a little island called City Island, which is like a Palmas in the Bronx, really, because it's a little nautical island, has about 4,000 residents on it. We know everybody on the island. We raised our kids there, so we moved there. We were there. We're still there. We still have a home there, and we have a restaurant there as well.
And what's that restaurant called?
It's called Ohana.
Okay.
It's a Japanese, Puerto Rican, teppanyaki hibachi restaurant.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Erin, aren't you going on a road trip this summer?
I am. I don't know if we're gonna. New York's gonna be tough. We're gonna
Okay.
be in an RV.
Oh. Well, City Island is actually a good place to go with an RV.
Really?
Yeah, I'll give you all the
Okay.
details.
Okay.
Love that.
That would be super cool.
That would be really
So,
cool.
how often do you go back?
Rod goes more often than I do because we are raising our 2 young grandchildren. They're teenagers. So he goes more than I do, maybe every month, every 2 months. And we have we've been there for 25 years at the restaurant. So we have some of the people that work for us have been working for us since we opened our doors. So it's a really loyal group of people, and the restaurant is in good hands. So we don't have to go as often as we.
In the restaurant business, that's really a testament to you guys, I would say.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
at them as owners and to keep employees for that long.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, we have quite a few of the employees that started us since we opened our doors or shortly after.
Well, I will say this. You guys are wonderful people.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Both
you.
of you. Norberto, I give him a hug every single time I come here. I'm just
He's a
like,
good
I
guy.
love you guys.
Yeah,
It
he's a
is
good
nice
guy.
when you walk in here.
It
It's
is.
always like you always feel very welcome.
Yeah.
Either you or he is standing at the door welcoming everybody, whether you know them or not.
It's always good energy.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into Norberto's and you feel like this is where I'm supposed to be, you know? And I love
That's
that
what
feeling.
we wanted. We wanted, we want to welcome everyone in. We know there's no better community than the Palmas community.
I agree.
And I feel that there was just a little void. There's a lot to do here, but we just miss that New York nightclub, sexy, fun vibe where you walk in and, you have good music and you can still hear each other speak. And if good song comes on, you can dance and enjoy all the little treasures that I have
We
here.
will say this because we've been here for 3 years. Both of us have. Aaron's been here for about 3 years too, right? Yeah. And
This month.
oh, very nice.
Yeah.
And so one of the things before Norberto's, we were like, God, this place just needs a nightclub. It needs a club. It needs a lounge. And we had Goddess, and Goddess was great for what it was, but it just something wasn't clicking.
Is
so,
Goddess still there?
No, not
Oh.
anymore. It's
Oh,
gone.
oh,
So
oh.
now you're
Oh, wow.
good.
So
now
we're the ones.
Yeah, no competition there.
All right. I didn't know that.
Goddess was
Yeah.
okay.
It was okay.
It was a cigar bar, so I don't like going there
Yeah.
because
You-
I don't
you-
want to walk out smelling like a
You
cigar.
do. You would stink
Yeah,
and
and
everything.
You have to go
and-
wash your
like
hair
s-
before
And a
you
lot
go
of
to bed
times
that
they would
night.
play the music too loud, so you couldn't it was
Yeah.
a cute lounge, but you couldn't have a conversation. And I feel like I can still talk to my friends here and listen to the music.
That's great. That's what we wanted because
Yeah.
Ron and I getting old. And we'd be at restaurants. We're like, let's go. This music is way too loud.
Yeah.
It's just not our vibe.
Hey, what
And I
you
was like,
say?
yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
So when you've been in Palmas for a while. At what point did you decide you wanted to start Norberto's?
Well, this actually just came up. What happened was we came here to semi-retire. We have our restaurant in New York for over 20 years. We're tired. I was tired. We have 2 teenage boys that we were raising. So my sons, AJ and Anthony, they are actually my grandchildren as well. Ron and I brought them home from the hospital. They've been with us since they're born. So they are our sons, our grandchildren. They're everything. They call me mom, mama, grandma, Mima. It's all the things. And so, we're older. I'm going to be 60 this year. And we thought we'd be in a different point in our lives, honestly. I think if we didn't have the boys, we'd be on a cruise ship every week. That's where we'd be. We'd be just traveling.
She'd be cruising with us.
Yes,
Oh, she would be
yes.
cruising with us.
But the boys are in high school. Well, Anthony he's in 7th grade. AJ's in high school. And so, we have to stay put a little bit. So when we came here to semi-retire, my husband was just jumping out of his skin. He's just used to getting up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. He'd go to Ohana. He's the guy sweeping. He's the guy cleaning. He's just keeps busy, very busy. And Ohana's busy. And then he's not a golfer. He just doesn't golf. I mean, we would go for a walk. His Home Depot runs, he just found himself a little lost. And we would go out to dinner, and he kept saying, there needs to be a place where we can go out at night and just sit and listen to good music and have a good cocktail and just be able to talk to each other over, and kept saying it and saying it. And my husband, the way Ron and I met, he used to have a nightclub in the 80s. He had the mecca of nightclubs. It was called Club Broadway. It was on 96 and Broadway in Manhattan, and he was there for 20 years. And it was all the big Latin salsa, giants, Celia Cruz, Hector Lavoe, Willie Colon. They all went through his club. So it's in him. He just loves music. And so he didn't want to do like a full-on nightclub, but he wanted to do a lounge with music. And I kept saying, no, 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 no. We're here to semi-retire. Let's relax. There's going to be a lot of work. And he kept saying, yes, 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 yes. So, I mean, I don't know about your husbands, but when he sets his mind on something, there's really no...
That's exactly how Sean is too.
Yeah, I just couldn't change his mind. So I leaned in, and what I said was, this is not my dream, this is his dream. But I said, I'll just implement things that I love so that I can be here and help him and feel a part of it. So some of the things I implemented were our vintage glasses and our vintage dinnerware. And
Which, by the way, is one of my favorite things. I love when I come here and I have a cocktail and I get a different glass every time. Nothing's the same.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love it. I like it. I have a drink in my hand right now, and it is so cool. It looks like it's dripping in gold.
well,
We'll take a picture of you with that drink and post it on the website.
Social.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Well, that is a rare glass. That's actually a bamboo Culver 22 karat gold rock glass, and it's from the late 50s, early 60s.
You gave
How do
me-
you know all
You gave
this?
me a special glass.
Yes, I did.
That's
How
so
do you know
nice.
all this?
Do you have
Well,
a passion for this?
I do have a passion for this. So it is I love barware. It just always did. I love everything vintage, honestly. It started from watching old movies, because that was my company growing up, was the late night old movies.
Did
so.
you ever watch Antiques Roadshow?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God, we have so
Yes.
much in common. I grew up watching old movies,
Did you?
antiquing with my mom. I still, when I go visit them in Wisconsin, we always do antiquing together. I collect old hats. I collect a teaware. I'm so into this. So this is way cool.
Becky, I have a hat for you. I have a
Oh
hat
my
for
God,
you. You're
I'm
gonna
so
die.
excited. I
You're
have
gonna
so
die.
many hats.
I'm gonna bring it here. I don't know what to
And-
do with it. It's not my niche. If you
and
love
it was-
hats,
oh, I love
got a
hats,
hat for
and it
you,
was the
girl.
coolest thing because I had once found this hat, and it was from the 1930s, and I knew that because it came with the original sales receipt.
Yes,
and
that's called
and,
provenance.
and so I knew like the old department store where it was purchased, which is no longer around, but
that's awesome.
I know about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I knew where they lived. It had the address on it. I'm like, oh my God, Kilbourne. Like what? And I just thought that was the coolest thing.
That's the things that I love.
Yeah.
I love the history of it
Yeah.
all. I love that. These things are from the 50s and they're still around. Meanwhile, you buy a glass today, a brand new glass, and in a week it's gone.
Exactly.
It's like these things they're just not made the way they were made back in the day.
What's your favorite classic movie?
Oh, I got so many. Auntie Mame.
Oh my God, I just watched Auntie Mame a few weeks ago.
That's one of my favorites.
I've seen that like 5 times.
It's one of my favorites. And that's one of the reasons why I love glassware from those movies.
Is that
From the
one?
barware.
Is she like the aunt that travels around?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is the
and
one.
she's amazing.
Yes. And her apartment is amazing.
and her
yeah.
Yeah.
like everything is just so
She's
great.
wild
Yes.
and fun.
And you're like, I want that aunt.
Yeah.
She's great.
Casablanca. I mean, I
Yeah.
can go on and on. Breakfast
with
at
the Wind.
Tiffany's, Gone with the Wind.
Breakfast with Tiffany's was always my movie that I watched when I would be like homesick from school.
Mhm.
I'd watch Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all the best.
I just
And
watched
then-
that not
I
too
watch
long
them
ago.
every day.
And
I
then
watched
on-
it on a plane.
On Sundays, my mom and I would wake up and I'd get up early with her and we'd watch whatever's on TCM.
Yes.
And she loved Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin movies.
Yes.
I had a soft spot for Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire.
I love it all.
And it just, all of it. So,
All of it.
I'm
All
so
of it.
happy. I love
That's so
this.
funny,
Cool.
right? It's- See, getting to know each other. You're more alike than you think.
Getting to know you.
Getting to know all about you.
Ah, she can be part of the musical day.
So happy right now. I am beaming. So cool.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask you, and I missed it, but I think you're a part of the coffee group that I don't know how to say the name.
I don't know how to say it either.
I just know that
Cafe-
you're a part of it. And
Yes.
you did there was a field trip, and you took everybody
Thrifting.
Thrifting.
I did.
And I was really sad
Wait,
that I
which coffee
missed
group?
it.
Let's do it again.
It's the
It's not
Coffee Clutch?
Coffee
Coffee
Clutch. Oh,
yes,
Coffee Clutch. Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I
have-
put it out there if anyone wanted to join me on a thrifting day to join in.
so next
and
time I want to go.
yeah.
Yes.
Can you? Because I have.
I had
that-
a lot of people
I have.
say they
I
want
have
to.
most every group muted, so I don't see updates.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's
It's
too
just
many.
too much.
It's too
Yeah.
much.
I know, I do too. Yeah, I took them. I mean, I just took them just to a handful. There are so many places, so many spots across the whole island. There's a little antique store in Camoy. Do you know where Camoy is? It's far away. It's closer to the west side. It takes like 2.5 hours to get there from here. It's the best. I think it's the best antique store in all of Puerto Rico, and I have a little booth there. So it's a little 10 by 10 area, and what I'm passionate about is vintage lingerie. So lingerie from the 20s all the way through to like the 60s and 70s, and barware. So that's what I have. I have 2 racks of vintage lingerie, and I have a full table of barware and glasses. So every month, it's really like a storage, honestly. I don't make a lot of money, but it's a place to have my things, and kind of like pays itself. The rent, whatever I sell, it ends up being just for the rent. But I'm just happy to find these treasures. We don't have a big place right now, so I don't have a lot of storage. So it's basically my little storage spot in Camoy. So if you guys want to take a 2.5-hour ride someday,
Heck yeah.
I'd love to take you.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we could do a little road trip.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Cool. Yay. Oh my
love
gosh.
it.
I loved you walking into this, and now I just love you more.
Oh, thank you. I love both of you.
Yeah.
You guys are really special women, honestly. So I called you the queens. So we're all the queens.
I know.
Yeah.
I told her today. I was like,
I got so excited because I wasn't sure who did that love note.
we didn't know
Yeah,
who it
that
was. And then
That's how I
when-
feel.
And
you
then
know?
when you said that, I was like, oh, it was Lisa.
That
It
was-
takes special
yeah.
women to want to even do this, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
people, they're busy with their own lives. Who has the time to sit down with people and get to know them better and bring the community together? So
We love
very
this.
special.
We love this place so much,
Yeah,
and
me
we
too.
feel incredibly blessed to be able to live in such a wonderful community.
Yeah.
And it clicked with us one day, and we're like, okay, let's. And then 9 days later, we had already worked on our first recording,
That's wonderful.
and so we're like, let's do this. And now we get excited every single time we record.
Yeah.
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 It's
It's
so
so
much
fun.
It's
Like
so fun.
we recorded yesterday, and I've already edited the show. It's like,
Yeah.
We have
It's a
another
passion
we have
project.
another
Yeah.
we
Doesn't
have
feel like work.
we have another guest tonight that we're going to record.
All right.
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yes.
So, and actually, it would be cool to for Lisa to also then have Norberto on, because we could.
oh, yeah.
So you know about this because you know about it
The
from
Newlywed Game?
Yes. The
Yes.
not so newlywed game in this case. But it would, would you like to do that on today's episode?
I would love it. He's
Okay.
going to come soon. So when he
Oh.
walks in, let's see. Let's see if he's willing to play.
We could do your questions now, and then if he has time,
Sure.
I mean,
We could have it on the same episode. Yes.
Speaking of a handsome devil, he's
Oh,
walking
he
in
is.
right
oh, he's
now.
walking in
And
now. I
he's-
can't
he's
see.
so wonderful, and we love you guys.
He's a good guy.
You guys
He
are
really
such
is.
a great couple. So, okay, so coming back to Norberto's, so you had this idea, you made it happen, and here we are right now sitting in this beautiful lounge that you put together, and it's such a good vibes in here. The colors, the ambiance, the chairs, the dishware, the drinkware, the piano up front, the Norberto's sign at the back of the bar, everything just clicks.
Well, I put my heart and soul into decorating this place. I pretty much did all of that. Rod and I worked together. Like any idea I had, I would pass it by him, and he's like, "Yep, love it, love it, love it." He wasn't too crazy about the chairs, but now he is.
Yeah,
know,
the-
Oh,
the
I
chairs-
love the chair.
Oh, I love
Everybody
the
loves
chairs.
the
They're so
chairs.
unique.
Yeah.
And they're so
unique.
comfy. They're
And
so
I
comfy.
actually even love them because I always get a little bit nervous for the bar stool versions because usually they're awful.
Yeah.
But these are fantastic.
They're comfy.
Yeah, they're
They
comfy.
are.
They're sturdy. And I will say this: you guys have an amazing staff.
Good. That's good to hear.
They're so wonderful. I have my dude. I don't know if you have your guy, but I think my guy is Nicholas.
Yeah.
That's my guy. That's my dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows when I walk in. He's like, martini.
Pitcher of
with-
water for Sean. if
Pitcher of
he's
water
here.
for Sean, and a dry martini with a splash of olive juice.
All
And I'm
right.
like, yes, and he just knows.
That's good to hear.
And
because
your
it's-
bartender is
hasn't been easy.
fantastic because not everybody, and I'm very stingy about my martinis, and I'm like, because I make it a very specific way, and your bartender nails it every single time.
It's wonderful
So
to
it makes
hear.
me
Thank
it makes
you.
me very happy.
We need that feedback. We need to know that things are, going as we'd like for them to go. So.
Well, and not everything is always perfect. I mean, you've had
Yeah.
your own challenges here.
Oh yeah, we've
Yeah,
had.
that I want to talk about that just a little bit. Like
Sure.
I know we've talked about it just in conversations before, but just the challenges that you faced with pulling it all together, and then I know the kitchen was you're
An
still
issue. Yeah. Well, this is our first business here. Well, a brick and mortar. you guys are going to laugh because I've done it all. When we were here last time with Ariana when she was in 5th grade, 6th grade, same thing happened. I was like, what am I going to do? I can't just sit around all day. And I was watching TV and this bridal show came up. It was a destination bridal show. I was like, oh, that's something I could probably do. Maybe couples that want to elope to Puerto Rico. So back then, you started a blog. So I started a blog. I got
What
the
year
name.
was this?
I don't know, Ariana.
Like 90s?
Yeah, probably 2000.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started a blog and just saying, if there is anyone out there in the world that wants to get married in Puerto Rico, contact me. I started doing my research, and I got my first couple that wanted to elope. So I gave them like full service, like pick them up at the airport, take them. At that time, you had to take them to a doctor to do. They had to get blood work. That's all changed now, but you had to get blood work.
What?
Yeah. You had to make sure you had no venereal diseases before you got married here in Puerto Rico.
What? Stop it.
No,
Yes.
that used to be a thing. I feel like
Even in the States.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I think-
Yes.
No.
So they were testing for
Yeah.
all venereal diseases. You pass that, then they give you a certificate, and then you would, then you'll be able to get married. So people were getting married in the churches. They were getting married at the beach. They were getting married at El Morro. I ended up doing probably almost 200 weddings.
That's
in
amazing.
Yeah.
What was your favorite?
I ended up getting a beautiful Hindu wedding. So she was Indian, he was not, but they did a full traditional Hindu wedding.
Oh, wow.
So it was a 3-day event. This was towards the end of doing the wedding planning. 300 guests came from all over the world here to Puerto Rico, and we had it at La Concha in San Juan, and it was wonderful. We had a henna party. We partied all night, and they were a great couple. They're still married. They still keep in touch, and they have 2 children now. So it was a wonderful experience. We had a wonderful time. I had a wonderful time doing that.
That's so lovely.
Yeah.
What a great story.
Well, how did I go from, how did that start? What was the initial?
because
the
the
difficulties.
businesses,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this was the first brick and mortar business where we, now we have to hire people. It was Rod and I doing all the weddings. He was my
Yeah.
bodyguard. He was my chauffeur. He was everything. We did it together. And when we opened here, just hiring staff was very difficult. For us, this is a wonderful spot, but for people that live on the island and want to work here, it's kind of a trek for them to
Yeah.
come. Parking is difficult. So, finding people to work, finding a chef, finding wait staff, it was difficult. And then when we rented, we thought we'd eventually get the permits for the kitchen, and we opened before that because we just didn't want to keep waiting. And
we didn't want you to keep waiting.
No, I
would
know.
come by here every day, like,
we were so antsy.
when are they going to
Yeah.
open?
Yeah.
And like I said before, our priority wasn't so much food. We wanted people just to come and pick and drink and have fun. So that really wasn't our priority. So I didn't think the kitchen was going to be a big deal. And we were willing to just wait it out until we got all the permits. Well, that hasn't worked. I just don't want to get into the details of it, but it's
Yeah.
just a pain in the neck. So we've kind of given up, and we're just trying to work with what we have.
I think you're doing great.
We're doing the best we can.
I'm every time I come
under
here, I look at the menu
circumstances.
and I'm like, all right. And it's wonderful because like I said, this is like our go-to after dinner spot. We're like, where do we go? Well, we have Norberto's now, so we're gonna go there, listen to music. It's wonderful. And then of course, at some point, we're drinking a little too much. We get a little too overserved, which is fine. and then we're like, we need munchies.
All right.
We need num nums.
Yeah.
So and you have a lovely menu for that.
Yes, that was our goal, to just have munchy menu, I guess. That's a good way to put it. And so, it has had its challenges for real, but I think all the positives outweighed the challenges,
Well, and there's something that you're doing that other restaurants I wish they would do is you're doing weekly events that really keep bringing people in. Like I remember when we had Chihuahuas and they had that beautiful, like nice little patio space. I'm like, we could do karaoke here. We could have trivia night. We could do so many things, and nothing ever happened with that, which is a shame because I love their tacos.
I know.
And so
I was
now-
sad to see them go.
I was too. And so here now you are doing trivia night.
Yeah.
You
Tonight.
have
Tonight,
That is
yeah.
tonight. Yeah. And
Tuesdays
you're doing-
Tuesdays at 6:30.
and you're doing Sunday salsa, and then you're doing Thursday
open
is
mic,
open mic,
which has been really successful.
which I think is my favorite night to
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
I love coming on Thursday night.
It's
I need
amazing to see.
come back on a Thursday. It's been a while.
Well, just like you guys are doing with the podcast, right? That you're getting to know people. I mean, I've seen some of these people walking around at the beach and the pools, just riding their bikes, and all of a sudden they're on stage playing a trumpet,
Yeah.
like an amazing musician, or playing the piano. And then we also just incorporated young talent, so that's
I
going to
saw
be
that.
once
That's
a
so
month.
I know. I saw that Jillian's daughter played the
she
piano.
did?
Yeah, Nora, and
I-
she did a beautiful job.
I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't get to see this last one. But my husband was literally, it touched his heart. He's like, Lisa, it was such a blessing to see these children get up on stage and play like the ukulele or sing. They did a magic show. So we're going to do this once a month. I think it's going to be the last Thursday of the month. So their hour will be from 6 to 7:30, their
That's-
hour and a half, 6
sure.
to 7:30, and then adults after 7:30. So
And you're promoting that on social media.
Yes.
So everybody follow Norberto's on Facebook and
Instagram. Yep.
please,
Yep. Yes, please.
because they're awesome and we want to keep them around.
Tuesday trivia. This is going to be the second one. The first one, we had 3 teams of 6, and they were going for it. They challenged me on questions, and they
course they
did.
I think I need to come tonight.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm terrible at trivia, but I'm usually I'm the person that gets everything wrong, but it's the random question that I happen to know that nobody knows, and I'm like, oh yeah, who
Wow.
makes the most maple syrup? Canada.
Yes, those are the kinds of questions
You know?
that I'm doing. But you'll have a good chance because, with my love of vintage, I'm doing like Rat Pack questions.
Oh,
and
gosh.
vintage
I'll be so
questions.
good
Yeah,
there.
Yeah. So
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm giving you so many snaps because you are doing such a wonderful job.
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. We want to get the community involved and for everyone to have fun. There's been so much sadness, right? Last couple of years between COVID and, just.
Well, and even what's just going around just now, just typical stuff is just it's we're in hard times.
We are in hard times. New York is
So-
not what it used to be. We
No.
were there, and it's really scary. Things are just not where they should be. So our goal here is we want you to walk in through the door and just forget, for a couple of hours, whatever it is that's going on. Let's have fun. Let's play trivia. Let's sing. Let's play an instrument. Let's dance. And then once you go out the door, maybe it'll ease up, whatever you have heavy on your heart for the next couple of days until you come back again.
Yes, which I do like that.
I love that.
This is actually one of my favorite things when me and Aaron were like we're out and about and we're like, do you want to go to Norberto's? Yes. Okay. And we have so much fun. We have memories here. We have so many good memories here.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah. So as far as future of Norberto's goes, what are some plans or some hopes that you have for the future of this place?
I think we just want to keep it consistent the way it is. We want to have a routine every week. Everyone knows what's expected. Every Tuesday is going to be trivia. Wednesday is going to be a younger urban crowd that we're doing. Thursday's open mic night. Fridays is a salsa band. Saturday is Paul. Sunday is Salsa Sundays with a private lesson. And we just want everyone to know, we know Tuesdays is trivia. And we just want that constant, people coming in and enjoying at least one night a week here with their friends, family, vacationers, and just to grow that, and
Well, and I will say this as somebody in town who's hopefully getting a name for throwing good events. I intend on starting to throw quite a few events with you.
I can't wait. I'm so
And,
excited.
Because it's such a wonderful space.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I worked hard.
Nailed-
hard to put this together. with my
nailed
husband.
it.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah.
Are there any funny or entertaining events or things that have happened, like either here or at your place in New York?
In New York.
Yeah.
Um,
Like unexpected moments or something that stands out in your mind.
well, if I can, I mean, not necessarily in Norberto's. Yeah, it's been fun. We've had, a great time. But in the wedding planning business, OMG, that was wild. We had some wild weddings, that's for sure. A quick little story is Catholic Church, the cathedral in Old San Juan, that beautiful cathedral. So I'm in charge of the wedding, right? Those big doors, and it has like that old-fashioned, like huge, like wood, like thing that you gotta like push up and take off. So it's a wedding day. I'm there at the doors. The priest tells me, one of the priests tells me, okay, open the doors. So I'm like pushing up on the big wood thing. I get it off, and I'm actually like goosebumps. I got them now. I was like, I can't believe this, like this 800-year-old cathedral, and I am in charge of this. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So my husband was my, assistant. He's with, I end up leaving, go with the bride. He stays at the cathedral. Now the priest is coming. Catholic priest is on his way. And he's a jokester. He calls me. He's like, the priest arrived. I said, okay, great. We're going to be coming down soon. He's like, well, it's a little problem. I'm like, what? What's the problem? He's like, the priest is very drunk. It was like 10 in the morning.
The priest?
Yes. He reeks of alcohol, and he's slurring, and he's drunk. I'm like, no, Rod, stop the kidding around. Stop it. There's no time for this. I got to go, Lisa, I'm not kidding. Okay,
What?
all right. I'll deal with it when I get there.
That holy sacrament was tasting pretty good.
Wow.
So I get there with the bride. I line everyone up. I meet the priest, and I introduce him to the groom. And he's like, in Spanish, he looks at him. He's like, "Oh, tú eres el que te va a joder today." And it's like, it's translating in English, you're the one who's getting fucked up today. That's basically what he said. So I was like, what? And the groom is like, I'm like, okay, all right, let's move it along. So let's get going. So the priest starts walking down. He had a mic in his hand, and he starts hitting the women as he's going down with their big hairdos. It's a Puerto Rican wedding. Everyone was dolled up, and he's going down, thank you for coming. And he's like hitting people on the head. He gets to the pulpit. He's up there. I'm like, he says to me, he signals he's ready. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, okay.
What's
So
he
I
gonna
line
say?
everybody up. Now everybody starts going down the aisle. You have the bridesmaids, the groomsmen. Everyone's going down the aisle. Halfway down, he says, stop. No estoy listo. He's not ready. Okay. He said, everybody come back. Everybody has to turn around and come back. I just couldn't even believe. I was like, when is Ashton Kutcher coming out? Because I know I am being pranked right now. This cannot be real.
So did they? Okay,
So
continue.
yeah. So they all come back, and then he like composed himself, and then he tells me to start again, and they all start coming down the aisle again, and he proceeded. The groom and the bride go up, and same thing he did to her, to the bride. He hits her on the head with the microphone. He's like, he's like blessing them, but then all of a sudden something clicked. I don't know if he sobered up, and then the rest of the matrimony went smooth, and it was beautiful, and he did something very meaningful, but that was a day. That was a day for sure.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. And a Catholic wedding, that isn't a short wedding.
No, it was a long wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it was
Yeah.
hot. But we got through it. And the couple is still married. The
people on
couple
the
is
head
still
with
married.
this
Like,
mic.
I can't.
Peace be to you, to you, to you.
The women were like, they were just like avoiding him. Like, I was like, oh Lord.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Oh man,
Oh, a
too,
lot of
a little
weddings.
too much sauce that day.
Yeah, a lot of
My friends who got married at a Catholic church, they have to do classes before with the priest.
Yes.
They would ask things like when are you ovulating? Like, what's the temperature of your uterus? Like, what? Or it was like weird questions like that to talk, because you're getting married, obviously, to then have babies.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's personal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It would take a couple who wanted to get married at the Catholic Church, the cathedral in San Juan. It would take them probably 2 weeks of paperwork and interviews and classes for them to get approved.
Well,
And
apparently
they-
making sure you don't have any venereal diseases, which, by the way, if you're getting married, now it's just you two, so you're not sharing it. Like, you should be fine.
Yeah, of all
Well,
the
hopefully.
couples that got married, no one came out positive for venereal disease. Although
weird.
one of the grooms did pull a prank on his mother. We were in the car, and he was like, "Mom, I got bad news. I came up positive." And she was like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "No, 'cause she got also." No, I'm just kidding. So
that's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So it's actually funny because today is technically April 2nd. And so I was thinking about that prank thing because yesterday was April Fools. And so have you ever played a prank on either Norberto or your kids on April Fools?
Yeah, I've played pranks on the kids. My daughter had a gerbil, and he was sleeping. So I took a picture of him and I said, "Did you overfeed the gerbil today?" And she was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "He's not moving." She's like, "Mom, I followed the instructions. I gave him the right amount of drops and water. Oh, Mom, when I get home, take him to the vet immediately." And then I had to say, okay, April
that's-
Fools.
'cause
I was like,
she-
yeah,
we did that to the girls once. Sean has teenager twins, but when they were younger, we had them and they were just horrible. Sometimes they're just
Yeah.
acting out. They're playing off of each other, and it was a bad weekend. And then it was April 1st, and we said, "Girls, we're gonna need you to come over here. We got to talk to you for a second." And we're like, "You just haven't been listening, and we want you to know that we're going to be sending you to a boarding school."
Oh no.
And I'm like, "It just needs to be this way. You're probably going to be separated. It's probably going to be for the best." And they both and they're like screaming, like crying, like bawling their eyes out, like hysterical,
Oh,
like the
no.
end of the world. And Sean's like, "No, baby, I was just kidding. It's April Fools."
Backfired.
I have to explain this
It
to you now.
backfired. Yes,
Yeah.
it backfired.
Oh my God. How old
But-
were they?
I think, gosh, they probably were only like 7. Yeah, that backfired.
Scarred for life.
Big
But
time.
but I will say this: it didn't really backfire because they were acting pretty good after that because
Oh,
they
were
knew
they?
it was like a possibility.
Scared straight,
They're like, he's thinking about it. What is one thing that I feel like you actually already kind of answered this, but miss the most about New York? And then on the other side of that, what is the thing that you love the most about Puerto Rico or Palmas?
What I miss the most about New York, honestly, is just you can go out at any time and do anything and get anything you want. If you're hungry, if you want to see a show, if you want to go to a Broadway show, it's just being able to be spontaneous and be able to be entertained or eat something whenever you want.
Right.
Or go, if I want to order something from Amazon, I order it at 8 and it's at my doorstep at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So that's been a little challenging here. I'm so used to just, I do plan things out, but I had no idea that I would not be able to find a black crow for Halloween because I wanted to be Hedron from the Birds for Halloween. And I needed black crows, and I waited too long, and I couldn't find a freaking black crow
I
anywhere.
hate that.
I feel like
when
I
you
just-
forget and you're
I feel like I just found my next year's, or this year maybe.
Well, if you're here.
no, if I'm here, I'm probably not going to be here, but next year for sure. Place to host a Halloween.
Yes. I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. So every year I go all out, but I couldn't do it last couple of years because I just waited too long, and then everything was just taking too long to ship. So
that has
okay.
happened to me before too. It's like we've been traveling, and then it's like you forget, and then you get back here.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like I've had to learn to time things better.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love the most about Puerto Rico, I love this island. It's just this island is very magical. I know this island really well through the wedding planning, And I mean, we have the only rainforest north of the equator. We have the bioluminescent bays, which maybe there are like 5. We have humpback whale season. We have orca whales up in Rincon as well. The surfing community in Rincon. The cathedral is the oldest cathedral in the Western Hemisphere, in the one in Old San Juan.
Wow, I didn't know that.
The cobblestone streets date back to 1600s. This island's just magical, and this has been my playground since I was very young. We would come here on vacation in summers, and so Puerto Rico is a very special place in my heart.
So is your family Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both my parents were born here. My dad was born in Mayagüez. My mom was born in Calle. They were both born here, raised here, and brought to the United States at a young age. I was born in Jersey City, but Puerto Rico was definitely like my second home.
Yeah.
And my kids too. My 3 children, they've been coming here since they're babies. My son learned how to walk here in Palmas. They were raised throughout the entire island. So Puerto Rico just holds a very special place for me.
I love it here. Puerto Rico is the first place where I felt like, holy moly, I feel like I'm at home.
That's wonderful.
And and the people here are wonderful people, and I feel so lucky and blessed to be able to be in such an amazing community.
Yeah.
And meet like-minded people.
Yeah. I mean, they're, in New York, everyone's like scurrying away to work, or, like walking. No one looks at you. It's a different vibe, right? But here, you're out to dinner and everyone's like, buen provecho, good day, good morning. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have people just talk to you.
Well, and even when you're driving around in a golf cart, I wave to everybody. Yeah. Everybody waves to me, and you say, "Hey, hi," and everybody is just really, nice. Really friendly.
A question we normally ask our guests is your favorite spot in Palmas. We obviously know your favorite spot in Palmas, but let's just say, you can't say Norberto's.
Okay.
Where would, if you guys were going to go to dinner, where would you pick?
Cafe
de la
Plaza.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We like it there.
Yeah.
I like the whole thing. I like the house. It feels like you're in someone's home.
Yeah.
The food is good and the service is good. So that's really our go-to.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with that as well.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
What's your favorite dish?
Ooh.
I've had the eggplant parmesan there. I've had the chicken parmesan, pasta. I'll eat any of it and all of it. It's so good.
So you have now listened to all of the episodes, which is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, we love that.
And thank you for your 5-star review. Much appreciated. Is there anything from one of those episodes that you were like, oh, I hope they ask me that?
Yeah. The superpower question.
Do you have a good one?
Do you?
I'd like to be the bionic woman. Strength.
Oh. Yeah, but what's your quirk?
That it would come and go without me being able to control it.
So all of a sudden you'd be trying to lift up a car and be like, I guess that's not happening.
Not today.
Not today.
But when I'm going for the Norberto's run, to be able to have that strength to fill up that freaking truck with all the Costco supplies, I can imagine. Begged for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, bionic woman's strength, but sometimes it's just not there. That would be fine with me.
I like that.
Yeah. So what else do you do in your spare time? I mean, obviously we know thrifting, and this, I'm sure, takes up a big chunk.
Yeah. My favorite hobby is thrifting and curating vintage lingerie and barware. That's my favorite hobby. But
so do you only do it at do you have the place in
Camoy?
Yes.
The Antique Bazaar.
But do you do online or?
I did for a long time, but I just don't have the storage for it now here. But when I was in New York, that was my side hustle. I did Poshmark and eBay, and I have like a little she shed in New York with all my wonderful treasures. And I would make a little money on the side. You did?
I did.
Oh.
But I don't have any sort of niche.
It all sells there.
It's more just like whatever we want to get rid of.
Yes, that's the way to do it. Yeah. It started that way for me, just cleaning out my closets.
Yeah.
And then when I was thrifting, I was finding these amazing pieces of vintage lingerie. I would go to the pajama department, and I mean, gorgeous from like the 40s and the 50s. And I'd bring them home. I'd give them a good bath, give them a little TLC, and list them, pay $6, and they would sell for $225.
You know who you would have a really lovely conversation with? Marcy Cheery. And she's not here right now. She's back in New York because her kids, they wanted to finish up school in New York. Hopefully she'll be back because she's a wonderful human being, but she actually designed lingerie.
Oh.
And
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she's very talented.
Oh, I love
and
that.
Lovely, lovely human.
You know, it's funny. There are people now that are making glassware styled in the vintage way, right? So I thought the same thing. It's, you know, pretty soon you're not going to be able to find any of that lingerie. I was like, I wish I could hook up with someone who we can copy the old vintage lingerie pieces, because they were very special. I mean, literally, you can wear some of those pieces out to dinner.
They're so beautiful.
My daughter, I have found some amazing pieces for her, like A-line, like gorgeous, like satin, like V-neck, deep V-neck. And she's like, at the beginning, she was like, what? Mom, I'm not going to be wearing a 1950s old. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me wash it. Let me give it TLC. Try it on, and then we'll talk. And when she puts it on, she's like the body for it. It was like perfection. And now she's hooked. Now she wears them out to dinner with a little jacket, you know. So
when we were kids, my mom, we would go to like antique shops, and she'd be she worked with elderly, and so sometimes they would have like the old like nightgowns and stuff like that, and she'd bring all this stuff home. And we would dress up in it. We'd be like, you'd be like, you know, feeling like 1940s kind of stuff, you know.
Oh, I love it.
And we loved that. Oh, pearls.
yes, the
And
details on some of the peignoir sets, you know, two-piece sets.
It's crazy when you like think about how well things were made then versus
Well,
now.
think about
It's like-
refrigerators back in the day. Good Lord.
I know. Have you seen those? What the refrigerators used to look like? I know Lazy Susans in them.
They had so many compartments, and you're like, what?
Well, made in the USA. That's when things were made really, really well. Unfortunately, that stopped, and so things
Mass production.
Yeah, things changed.
Crank out as much as you can, as cheap as possible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And then before that, when I graduated from high school, I enrolled. I was raised by my grandmother. My parents were very young. They were teenagers when they had me. They were wonderful, and I adored them. They both have passed, but they couldn't raise me. They were young. So my grandmother raised me, my father's mother. And I think that's also probably one of the reasons why I love vintage, old vintage things, is her. But when I graduated high school, she was older. And she's like, I'm going back to Puerto Rico. I raised you. I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah. She's like, I'll leave you the
Bye.
apartment. We lived in a rent-controlled senior citizens building.
Oh, score.
And they let me stay. They let me stay. And it was great because I had all the little senior citizen women looking out for me and cooking for me. And I stayed there, and I had a car. I tried to go to school, but I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to go to college. So I went one semester, and I started looking for a full-time job. And I found a job at Bloomingdale's at a makeup counter called Visage Beauté, which was it was a new and innovative line where they were custom blending all lipsticks and makeup. And so they trained me. I worked with them for about 8 months, and then someone picked me from Bloomingdale's and said, there's this new company that's opening up. It's called MAC Cosmetics.
Wow.
And they're going to be in a very special store in Manhattan, and we really think that you fit, you would be perfect for the position. I'm like, okay. And I went and I met with Frank Angelo and Frank Toscan, who were the creators of MAC, and they trained me.
Wait, what year was this?
That's
It's like
amazing.
83, 84.
Wow.
Stop, that's so cool.
That is so cool.
I worked with them for 13 years. I worked
Wow.
at the old Henry Bendel store, the original location, which was just like an amazing experience.
And how old were you then?
I was young. I was 19,
20s?
20,
Yeah.
21.
Oh, what a
I was
cool-
very young. And they sent me to California. They trained me. I would get all the makeup and brushes for free, and a discount at Henry Bendel was like 33% off. And I met everyone from John F. Kennedy Jr. and
Stop it.
everyone, Mike Tyson, Naomi Campbell, and the Evangelista, Brooke Shields. I met them all because Mac was brand new.
Mac,
Who is
yeah.
the coolest person you've ever met?
The coolest. John F. Kennedy Jr. was.
I
Yeah.
bet. Oh my gosh,
I
that's
was
so cool.
heartbroken when that whole tragedy
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
He was just nice and humble and sweet and come in and buy presents for his mom. And the time he was dating Daryl Hannah, so they'd come in together.
Stop it.
Yes. And she came to Mac to buy cosmetics, and she actually, I didn't know. Who would know this? If you look at the old movie Splash, you'll tell she's missing a finger, so she doesn't have this index finger. Down.
Really?
Yeah. But I met so many amazing people, and it was just a really, really wonderful time in my life.
Who was the worst? Who was like the rudest?
the worst? Mike Tyson. He was the rudest and the worst. And
What?
he was dating Naomi Campbell at the time, and they both came in together to buy makeup, and she had maybe $300 worth of makeup that she put aside, and she said to him, okay, give me your credit card. And he was like, I'm not paying for that. He's like, she's like, what do you mean?
I mean, she's also Naomi Campbell.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
she doesn't have the money
She
to.
didn't- yeah, but he was dating her. He
Yeah.
should have picked up the bill.
Yeah.
But while she was buying the makeup, he was like coming on to me. He was like, well, what's your name? Are you Spanish? Are you a Latina? And I was like, oh boy, don't even go there. 'cause
So,
it's just
so you
not-
hoping
you're
that he
cheap.
gets? Are you hoping that he gets his ass beat in July?
I feel bad for him. He's had a hard life, so
Yeah.
I'll let it slip. I hope he does well.
People change a lot
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
years
they
too,
do.
from 80s to
He had
now.
a tragedy in his life. He lost his little girl.
Yeah, it's
so,
terrible. Yeah.
So
Oh, I
hopefully
don't
he's
think I knew
changed.
that.
Yeah.
So I have to ask. Okay, if you are having a dinner, you're having a dinner party, and you could invite one celebrity, living or dead, anybody, who would you love to meet?
Barbara Streisand.
Oh,
Look at that. See?
great question, by the way.
Thank you.
I really
Great
like
question.
that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
I like that one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barbara Streisand's my girl. I think she is just a living legend.
Yeah.
She's so
Aw.
amazing.
Yeah.
She's a producer, a director, a singer. She's just
And she
everything.
crushed it in everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
in everything.
Yeah.
So she's my girl.
Yeah,
I got
that's
to
cool.
see her in concert. Rod got us tickets to
Oh,
see her.
wonderful.
She was amazing.
Where?
In New York.
Fun.
What about you, Erin? Do you have somebody?
100%.
Who?
Stevie Nicks.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
She's a good one too.
Yeah.
She's fabulous.
I love her.
Everything about her.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I have hugged her.
No.
Yeah.
How? When?
At Red Rocks.
Ugh.
So.
Was it a full hug? Speaking from somebody who is an expert hugger.
I mean, it wasn't like a prolonged, like, full hug, but
No more than
I
5
mean, it
seconds.
was-
no more
no,
than
it
5
was-
Mississippis.
no, it was definitely not even that long.
Brr.
It was more like maybe 2 seconds, but
Hey,
yeah,
that's
it
2
was,
seconds.
It was one of my favorite shows at Red Rocks.
That's so cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
She is
Yeah.
also an icon.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
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 Everything about her, the way she dresses, her hair,
Yeah.
her jewelry, her singing, her story, everything about her.
Yeah.
Wow. It would probably be like Ginger Rogers or maybe even Audrey Hepburn. I love Ginger
That's a
Rogers.
good one.
She
Those are good ones.
so and we might need to fact check this, but what I read about her was she wasn't a drinker, but in her house she had an ice cream bar.
Oh.
And I kind of love that. So do you enjoy our rapid fire?
I think it's great. I think that.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Because we can do that. Are
Ready
you ready?
when you are.
All right, here we go. Favorite color?
Green,
We're gonna have to go back to that. Okay. So favorite movie?
The Wizard of Oz.
Favorite
Ooh.
book?
Oh, favorite book. The Color Purple, Alice Walker.
Oh.
Favorite musician or band?
Barbara Streisand.
Favorite food?
I'm a charcuterie board girl.
Favorite
Me
hobby?
too. Thrifting.
Favorite place you visited?
I'm going to go with Mike Lee and Amber, Greece.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Favorite animal?
A favorite animal, whales.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Butter pecan.
And favorite app on your phone?
Clubhouse.
All right.
Love it.
Let's talk
that
about
was
that.
40 seconds,
Okay,
but
you know what? So there you go. Maybe we give people
40 seconds sounds
that
about
was
right.
that was good.
So your favorite color is green, which is also my favorite color.
Is it?
But which color green?
Like a beautiful deep hunter green.
Okay. Mine's Kelly green.
Kelly.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Green is I love green.
So do I.
Yeah. So good.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
I'm from Kansas.
Such a
I
good-
love Wizard of Oz. I've
I know.
seen Wizard
See,
of
look,
Oz
I know
more
what
than
you should be for Halloween.
Dorothy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mer.
Or the Tin
I've
Man, or
actually
the
never
Scarecrow,
done it.
or
Shame.
any of them.
No, if I was going to do it, I'd do Dorothy.
Dorothy.
The sparkly
And I have the little dog.
sparkly red shoes. Oh my god! Rufus would be perfect for that. Put him in a basket. He's living his best life.
Yeah. What's your favorite musical that you?
Hakuna Matata. Favorite musical
Or opera.
There's so many. Or opera. I mean, I love all music. What's the old one? South Pacific. That's like a really old one. That's a great musical. Want to watch that Man Right Out of My Hair? Remember that? So I would say that one. Yeah.
I'm stuck on Phantom of the Opera, but also West Side Story.
Oh, yes.
I love West Side Story.
Met Rita Moreno
So good.
with my mom,
Oh.
her idol, and we just went to the Bronx Ball, and Rita Moreno was there, and it was amazing to see my mom and her have a conversation. My mom, that was her ultimate celebrity, and it was wonderful that I have that memory. So,
What's your favorite flower?
gardenias.
That's mine too. Stop.
The heck?
Followed by peonies.
Peonies, yes. I love them too. But gardenias is like,
I love her so much.
Do we want to do the Newlywed Game?
We're going to do the Not So Newlywed Game with Norberto and Lisa all in the same episode, which is fun. Lisa's leaving us for a second, so she cannot hear his answers.
Perfect.
Hi, Norberto.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Welcome
Do you want
to
us
the
to
show.
call you Norberto or Rod?
Whichever makes you happy. Everybody calls me Rod because of
Your
my
name.
past. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's easier.
All right, Rod.
hmm
Here we go.
Lisa told us all about your past.
No boy.
Your sordid past.
Sorted, beautiful past.
No.
Lovely. She couldn't say enough nice things about you.
She's a wonderful lady.
She is a wonderful
We
lady.
think so, too.
And we are
Very-
in one of our
very
favorite
fortunate.
places in town, so we are
Yes.
super happy right now. Thanks for having
Okay.
us.
Yep.
So this is called the Not So Newlywed Game. And what you're going to do is I'm going to ask you 5 questions. I'm good. Answer them for you, but then you're going to answer what you think Lisa would say.
Perfect.
And we're going to see how good you are after being married for how long?
It's going to be 26 years, I believe. Or
26 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
23 to be exact.
So no pressure,
Okay.
but here we go.
You got this.
All right. Question number 1. What is your dream vacation destination?
I'm living it. You happen to love Puerto Rico, and I'm living my dream right now.
Good. What is your favorite meal that you never get tired of?
Oh, it's funny because my chef is making it right now. It's called chicken cacciatore.
Ooh, yum.
Mhm.
That sounds good. All right. What is one thing that you could spend a ridiculous amount of money on and not regret?
I guess my cars.
Cars?
Yeah.
You like classic cars?
Yeah, I've had 3. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
What kind?
I had a 66 Pontiac GTO, they call it GOAT.
Oh, nice
And then
car.
I had a Bentley. So,
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Fancy. All right. What is one quirky habit of yours?
I guess spending money. I spend money on, things like I really don't need.
Okay. And last question for you. How do you prefer to spend your leisure time?
With my family.
Okay.
Oh, love that.
I love that too. All right, so now we're going to ask you the same 5 questions, but you're going to answer them for Lisa. What do you think Lisa's going to say? So what is Lisa's dream vacation?
It's hard to say. I think Italy. I think she wants to go to Italy.
What is Lisa's favorite meal that she cannot get tired of?
I don't know. She likes all foods. So
okay,
it's
that's
very,
okay.
It's
that's
very
it.
hard
that's
for me
a good,
to say
That's a
which
good answer.
one.
She might say that.
Or,
same thing
okay,
too.
what about what's her favorite, like, that she always eats? treats or something that she's like always?
Well, she likes home cooked meals at home. You know, she likes breaded chicken, things like that she makes.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
I like that. All right, what is one thing Lisa could spend a ridiculous amount of money on without regret?
I would say maybe her shoes or her pocketbook bags or whatever you call them. Yeah.
Okay. And what is one quirky habit of Lisa's that you've noticed?
Lisa doesn't have, habits like,
Because she's perfect.
well, she's not perfect by no means, but she's pretty perfect. I don't know. I don't know what, I don't know. I can't tell you. I think she likes to sleep maybe a little bit.
Okay.
She gets tired.
That's okay.
it.
And how does Lisa prefer to spend her leisure time?
I think reading and a lot reading on her phone, reading up what's going on, current events and things like that.
Okay. All right,
Awesome.
that's it.
That
We're
it?
good to go.
Okay.
All right, we're going to bring Lisa back in. All right, Lisa. We have answers. You're up next. So how this is going to work is I'm going to ask you 5 questions about yourself, and then you're going to then answer them what Norberto would say.
Okay.
So first up, our number 1 question is, what is your dream vacation destination?
Dream vacation destination. Right now is Italy.
Ding, ding,
Ding,
ding.
ding. You got that right.
Yeah.
What is Norberto's?
He wouldn't care to go anywhere. He'd stay right here in Puerto Rico.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
Nailed it. Number 2, what is your favorite meal that you can never get tired of?
What he would say. I'm going to go with Spanish food, Puerto Rican food, rice, beans, chicken.
He said you would say like a home cooked meal.
Yeah.
Chicken. He did say
He
chicken.
did. He said like a breaded chicken.
But he said that you like everything.
yeah.
Yeah, I do.
But you
I'm
liked
a foodie.
You liked home cooked meals.
Yes.
And what would he say?
For his
Yeah.
home, that he would rice, chicken, beans, chicken, steak.
I actually don't remember what he said now. I feel like he does. Maybe was that one of the questions that he said he didn't know. He doesn't necessarily have
Yeah.
one.
He loves
Yeah.
everything too.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. So, what is one thing that you could spend a ridiculous amount of money on without regret?
Vacation.
He said shoes or bags.
The nerve.
The nerve. And what about him? What do you think? he would
Cars,
say?
watches.
Yep. He said cars. He said his classic cars.
Uh-huh.
Yep. What is one quirky habit of yours?
Quirky habit. I don't know. I can't think of a quirky habit.
I don't think he had one either.
No,
he doesn't. He said she's like near.
He said that you're pretty much perfect.
Yeah, pretty much. He thought that you might like sleep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
Me either. Me either.
Oh, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are not.
We've been together long enough that he brings me the coffee in quietly.
Gosh,
and
Joel does too. Joel pushes the button. I have to prepare it the night before. He pushes the button, and then he brings the coffee in, and like
puts it on the nightstand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
My husband
so
too.
what's his quirky habit?
He's got a little bit of OCD.
He did not acknowledge any quirky.
No, he
does.
did not. He doesn't have any.
He doesn't believe he has any.
He's in denial.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
okay, okay.
And then the last question is how do you prefer to spend your leisure time?
With my family, with my husband and my boys and my daughter.
He said maybe reading.
Reading.
Yeah, that too. I
And
love to read.
and then what do you think how he would answer that question?
His leisure time. He doesn't ever take leisure time. He loves his music. He loves to listen to music.
He actually said what you said. He said just
being with
his
the family.
family.
Yeah, yeah. That's what he likes to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Awesome.
good.
You guys
Yeah.
did very well.
We
Yeah.
did.
It's lovely.
And how many years have you been together? Or married? Married.
Well, married, we've been together a total of 30 years, 32 years.
This was a fun question because I asked Norberto how long you've been married for, and he's like, he started at 30, and then he went down to 26, and then he ended at 23.
Well, our daughter's 26. We got married and she was 6 years old. We went to Hawaii and we got married. We were going to have a big wedding in New York, and I was like, it's ridiculous the amount of money. Let's just go to Hawaii for 3 weeks and, and just the three of us. And that's what we did. We went to Maui. We got married on Maui, but we went to Oahu, went to Maui, went to Kauai, and we just had a 3-week vacation together, Ariana, Rod, and I.
So how long have you been married?
20 years. Married 20.
We're down to 20. We started at 30. We went to
I
26,
would say-
23, and now we're
I would
we
say
ended at
20, probably 21 this August. 21 years.
But together for 30.
Yeah, a little over 30.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
love hearing that. It
Yeah.
makes me so happy. Lisa, it's been such a joy to have you on this
Yes.
show.
Oh, thank you. It's been
Yeah.
a joy to be with you, ladies. It's
And-
nice.
See, and there was no reason to be nervous.
No, it was. It was just
Right?
a conversation
You
with
crushed
girlfriends.
it.
Conversation.
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what we like. That's our whole shtick.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I can just share one more thing that I'm really proud about,
Absolutely.
I want to share about my daughter. So my daughter is 27. She just turned 27 in March. She lives in Hawaii. She lives on the North Shore of Hawaii. She went there on a vacation and said she was never coming back. My dad lived there. It was meant to be. My dad lived there for 30 years in Hawaii, between Hawaii and Bali. And she went there on vacation. She's like, Mom, if I find a job and I find a place to live and a roommate, can I stay? I'm like, yeah, no problem. She had just almost finished her 2 years of college, and she said she was going to do that there and get a job. And that's what she did. And then she met this was 5 years ago, and she met, within probably 6 months of being there, she met the most amazing young man. He's a pro surfer. They traveled the world together. They just got engaged in December. And so there'll be a wedding soon. And
Are you going to plan it?
yeah, I'd like to, but she's, she doesn't really let anybody. She's a control freak, so she'll do all the planning, I'm sure, herself. But I just wanted to share. She's just a joy. They started off for profit together because there's a big homeless population on the west side of Oahu. A lot of children that are born on the beach, raised on the beach, and have nothing. They don't even have a surfboard, a boogie board, shoes, sneakers, bathing suits. So they started a non-for-profit organization called the Essential Project, and they Mason has like a pair of board shorts through Reef that the donation, whatever is purchased, the profits go towards their not-for-profit, and they buy children, all the essentials, book bags, shoes, sneakers, whatever they need. And so I just wanted to say I'm just very proud mom.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That makes me happy.
She has a great life, thank God, right? That's what
Yeah.
you want for your children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I think our parents would be pretty proud of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
My
It
mom
should
would
be.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Wait a second.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Erin has come up with something that we talked about this on the last episode.
Well,
but we
I didn't
need
come
to,
up with it.
Oh, I'm sorry. AI came up with it. However,
ChatGPT came up with it.
yes. But we are signing off with. Thank you for tuning in to There's So Much I Don't Know About You.
Remember, life's too short to be anything but fabulous.
Catch you next time, darlings.
Stay sassy.
We're testing that out to see if we like it. We might change it.
I like it. I think it's great.
It may
Queens.
change.
Yes.
Palmas Queens. Signing off. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. It's been wonderful. Thank you.